Welcome. In this video, we will be doing a collective reading for our Scorpios. Yes, Scorpio is the 8th astrological sign in the zodiac, and the sun is transiting this sign from October 23rd through November 21. So for all my Scorpios, happy birthday, and to my other little brother, Frankie, happy birthday to you. All right, let's get started. So we have some gems here to activate this energy for our Scorpios. We will start with malachite. Jewelry made of this stone looks really beautiful because of the different swirls. I am not a geologist or a gemologist. I just appreciate beautiful stones and understand that everything has a vibration, not only from its color, its density, but itself. So what is said about malachite? First, the ancient Egyptians called it a godstone because it was used as amulet that can avoid the threat of death or protect the wearer from negative entities. So that's come through the ages, and it is called a protective stone. It helps clear away negative energies. It's a transformational stone because it helps also heal emotional pain. So it will be interesting what's going to be revealed here for our Scorpios this season. It also activates the chakras and heals them and opens up unconditional love. Let's look at citrine. And I have this beautiful citrine. It has 2 points here, so it's definitely a beautiful piece in my collection. And citrine also is known as a healing crystal. It helps with physical, emotional, and spiritual balance. It increases optimism. It helps with bringing a sunny disposition and cheerfulness. It also helps manifest your skills and powers and aligns your chakras. So definitely one of an awesome stone to have in your collection. So these are the ones that were being drawn for our Scorpios. We also pulled amethyst from the batch. And amethyst is here believed to be a healing stone. It has healing properties. It protects the bearer from negative energies and also has a positive impact in relieving stress, stimulating new ideas to come into your space, and enhances psychic abilities. A very spiritual stone. Interesting what's showing up for our Scorpios. I've always thought this feels like a piece of ice cube. This is aqua blue obsidian, and it helps to calm the feelings, bring down any anger and frustration, and protects against negativity. So I see that I've drawn many stones that protect against negativity. Definitely will be surprised what this reading will show up for our collective Scorpios. Okay, Scorpios, let's set up the players. We've got some of them already set up, and let's bring the others. If you are interested in a personal reading, do that by going to my website at www.fortuneforecast.com. And once you have set for the appointment, I will respond coordinating times with you. So let's set up the stage. Okay, so we will start with what is the theme? What is the theme? Then we will go with what do you need to let go? What is it that you need to continue working on currently? And what new energy will show up for you? Then we'll go ahead to this other area here, and we will look at relationship, what do you need to work on, or your personal growth, and ultimately, what is the lesson that will be revealed for you as the sun transits you, Scorpio. Okay, my Scorpios. We will also add a few more here to the stage. We will add this one in the area of money and career. We will shuffle this one here for relationships. And we will shuffle one of the ones from the Mudras to find out what is it that you need to work on. Interesting. Okay. Then we'll save I guess we could throw the lesson or the conclude. We'll do that at the end. Okay. Let's see what's in store here with the theme for Scorpio. So we start off with the King of Swords. And just let me turn it this way so we could see what we have here. Some of the representations here in this positive, in the right way. We see a very well-centered, kind person here, represented by the King. And there's a sense of calmness, confidence, and wit about him. We see that the butterflies in the background, a sense of transformation. We see that there is something of knowledge that has captured knowledge from above, and the golden crown. So there's a lot of symbolism here that lets us know about the character of this person. So when we see this card showing upside down, then we come to get a feeling that there is here, for the theme is that there is still room for growth, and that there is some knowledge still that we can gain. And it's not about thinking that an old dog cannot learn a new trick. It is important that we amass information and that before we make a decision. So it looks like there will be some issues showing up, and interesting because these stones here talked about protection. So also protecting yourself, maybe from your own self, when you think that, you know, your own ego is getting in the way because you think you have all the knowledge. So that's one thing that could also be intended in what we need to see as a theme. On the darker side of this could also be that you are smart enough that you may want to, you know, use your wit that you have gained to persuade others or to manipulate situations for your own personal gain. So my Scorpios, be very careful, as this is your season. And so be very careful, Scorpio, that you don't fall into a trap of your own design, where you allow your own arrogance and overconfidence step in and for your own selfish reasons and become a little bit manipulating situations for your own gain. So moving forward through the month, be very careful, because then I could see why you would need all this protection, because of what is, you know, you pushing this dominating nature about you, because you do tend to be somewhat aggressive. And that's why sometimes with the Scorpios, they get mistaken for a fire sign because they're so passionate. Okay, let's take a look at what you need to let go. So go like this. Okay, so we have the Four of Cups. So when we see the Four of Cups in its straight position, we see a person by the tree, contemplating, thinking about something. Legs are crossed, arms are crossed, but there is something coming through. This could be information, this could be new love, this could be something that is being presented, but you're not open to this. You're still looking at the things that you have before you, and you can't see that something greater is showing up in your life, and you don't want to open yourself up to that newness. Yet, believe it or not, upside down, we see a little bit more. Yes. So if you can imagine now, things are flowing out of the cup, that whatever you were holding on to, you are now aware of what's in front of you, and you can now begin to see the possibilities that before you were too disconnected to see, or you were too had too much tunnel vision, or you still were so raw, you were still swimming in your own emotions that you could not see what was in front of you. So now you're opening yourself up to seeing beauty, to seeing love, to seeing all these new things that are showing up in your life, and you're ready to embrace these new ideas, these new people, and these expressions that are coming to you. And you're welcome to now let go of the past. So it's important that you continue on this path. You have been on a path of healing. You have gone to the tree, because that's what's here. You had gone in that moment through that meditation and that healing process, and now new light has been shed. Where now, because of this is upside down, you are okay now to let things go. And you can see, may not see far away, but the vision that you have, because you have this golden staff, you're holding it firm in your hand, and this light that is now flowing from the circuitry from you, and you're okay with seeing what is just in front of you, and that is fine. Let's see here now what needs to continue. What needs to continue? Well, you have two major arcanas. So being that it's showing up in what needs to continue is that, yes, while you moved on from this situation, let's continue with what helped you get through it. And it was that introspection. It was that solitude. It was really following your gut and your intuition. And so just because the situation you've healed it, it's moved on, and you've already let that go, the technique and the tools that you have learned is what you need to continue using. You need to continue using your intuition. Having the high priestess show upside down, it just means that you need to probably try meditating or try this technique that was helping you in approaching the situations that were showing up in your life, whether they had to do with, relationship or career or something that you were trying to work through. It worked. Just don't quit, something because you've seen a success to it or an end to that. This system here is important in your life. Following your intuition is important for you, because possibly right now in the current cycle that the Scorpios are in, there's going to be a state of confusion, maybe not from you, but others. And that energy may come and affect you because you are sensitive as being a water sign. And that's, as I mentioned earlier, a lot of the Scorpions are mistaken for fires because they are so passionate. And it is this strength that is coming from this water energy and this emotional realm that really makes the Scorpios really special among the water signs, Cancer and Pisces. And we see here, what is this matter? Temperance. And we talked about the emotions, and let's take a look at this beautiful angel. So again, let's take a look. So basically, just because things improve doesn't mean that you stop doing what got you through your tough times. So you need to continue following intuition. And at that matter, again, when we see here the beautiful temperance, this beautiful angel that is working with the elements, that is creating harmony, that can actually step into the water and into the land, and it's really using what you have. So in this state, what happens when we're seeing this, that failure to follow your intuition, you're going to go into a state of imbalance, causing yourself a lot of stress and anxiety. And we see now why this protection is it's coming up with these gems, reminding you what you need to continue. You've made some progress, but when you start feeling the anxiety and you start getting these emotions, taking over, then we need to find what works. This here is helping you, kind of letting you know, kind of giving you like a little red flag that you need to take a certain path, and it's going to lead you to the path. You see the path? Don't get off that path, Scorpio, because with this warning that this angel of temperance is bringing, it's kind of letting you know, hey, if you continue ignoring your own intuition, your best advice that you know is coming from a higher place, it might lead you to chaos, it might lead you to excess, it might lead you to more anxiety. So what's important right now is to establish a long-term plan for yourself. That's what you need. This is about continue planning, continue building up on these small successes. And as you do that, you can begin feeling yourself the way through and get back on land to get where you need to go. So you need to reflect on the things that you have already let go, and remember that all things are only good in moderation. So here, Temperance is reminding you that everything is good in moderation, and that every now and then we must take a look at different aspects of our lives. Are we spending too much time at work? Are we spending too little time with the family? Are we not spending enough time with our spouse? Are we giving ourselves the time that we need that helps us feel whole and complete? So it is really about a work-life balance. So Temperance is reminding us, one thing is you need to listen to your intuition, because if not, you might go overboard and you might fall off this train and you fall back on the same errors of the past. So something about the intuition and moderation. That's what needs to continue. Let's move on now to what is entering our life. Now look at all these major arcanas. Oh my goodness. You are going to be in for a very strong lesson. There's going to be a lot showing up for Scorpios. And if it's for Scorpios, because the sun is in transit through Scorpio, that is going to be a big magnification for all the other signs. So I just want to stop for a second and go back to show what is ahead for Scorpios. As before I come into this, look at all these, and I think except for this one, these are all upside down. The Hermit. And it was talking about the letting go of old emotions that no longer serve us, and to be open to the beauty of what is here, to be grateful for that, to embrace our own true feelings and our intuition. And then again, here, then you have Temperance, kind of goes like this. So the High Priestess upside down, Temperance. Now we have the Hierophant, and then we have Justice. And take a look. Each time we have with these cards, look, pillars are showing up. That balance of yin and yang, light and dark. It's still a part of the whole, but still, it's in that whole. Then we come over here, and in the Hierophant, we see pillars again. And we've got like this Pope, this part of us, the highest self of us, kind of trying to balance two aspects here, because you have red and then you have blue, so two aspects of its opposite nature. Then we have Justice here with two pillars here, with the balance of a sword and then the balance of a scale. So one of the things that we need to kind of look at, Scorpio and others, but this is for my Scorpio babies, the season that's coming through, and what is new in our lives, what's going to show up. So as we're looking at moving forward, let's remember one of the traits of our Scorpio is its ability to uncover what is hidden. So what is hidden? What needs to be uncovered? And what needs to come into justice? So we see that, and for some of them, it's sometimes a little bit uncomfortable. And because of that deep probing and the nature of the Scorpio, they just go to it. And one of the things here, we're likely to see this drive really magnified through the season, and for many others. But for Scorpio, they're not going to take it, and they're not going to take it sitting down. They want the truth, and because of their savvy nature and they're that watery nature, they may tend to want to manipulate the truth for their own gain. So you have to be very careful, Scorpios, what to do. And that's, remember how we started off the theme. You might be too witty for yourself, and you might try to take advantage by manipulating things in your favor. So that's one thing, especially for those of you that are on that path of evolution, that need to pay close attention what it is that you need to improve on to go to the next level, so you're not stuck in that loop, that crazy loop. And so one of the things that you may experience, this new energy, is a sense that you can't move forward, the sense that things are restrictive, that there are too many rules. And with this showing upside down, you may feel at a loss, and a loss of control, and a loss of order. There may be some desire to break free from these shackles, to break away from convention. It's like you are looking to move forward with a new you, and it doesn't have to be how it's traditionally been. And maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that's a good thing, as you're seeing the world in a different way, because things are showing up, and you might just want to say, hey, they've said it's this way, but I've learned otherwise. They're not walking in my shoes. You may have to try new ways to handle old problems. So with the Hierophant showing up upside down in the future, it's like what's coming in. It's looking for new ways to do old things, unorthodox ways. You just need to make sure that whatever it is that you do, it's the right thing, because look, the end of the day, you have to go to bed with your decisions. And it could be, like right from the beginning, showed up with the King of Swords in reverse, and not meaning really good, trying to probably manipulate things. And you do have that nature about you, because you have that charm also about you. And the thing is, can you live with that? Can you live with these decisions that may be coming into the new future? And how can you make up for any wrongs? So perhaps as you find new ways to handle old problems, you may be dealt with this intense card here. So let's think about what that could mean, possibly in different aspects of your life. If in romance, what could this mean in a relationship? Perhaps you might feel that this partner or this person in your life is being unfair, and the expectations are too much for you, and maybe blaming you for things, and so you feel that it's unfair. And what about in work? What does this mean? Maybe there's something dishonest going to happen. Maybe you feel that you're trying to handle something in a new way because these problems weren't there before, and now there's new things have shown up that you've had to kind of find new ways to do these things, and you're not being treated fairly because maybe what happened here was not honest, or someone is not being held accountable for their actions. I also could say that in legal matters, if you are trying to deal with a legal issue because it is upside down, it could be that it may not work in your favor. Maybe things are not going to turn out as well as you were expecting. But at the end of the game, it comes back to the theme. This theme of this king here. How pure are the thoughts? How are you going to approach things? Are you going to be cunning and manipulative because you are a source of knowledge and wisdom? Or you may just want to just think about yourself, and this might just be all about you and what can you do to survive and get through the situation. Very interesting, Scorpio. Let's look at career. There's a lot of upside down cards for you for Scorpio. Scorpio, what's going on? Okay, so a lot of upside down cards here, and I'm seeing here that there's some stagnation when it comes to career. I see that probably no mobility. If you were looking for a job, you're not getting any callbacks. It's very frustrated, and there's a sense of stagnation, or opportunities are there and they're not being presented to you, or you're missing them, or you are rejecting them because maybe you feel they're not the best for you at this moment. But there may be other things that you want to explore, and right now you're feeling closed in with this decision. You feel like you don't have a chance to move forward, and you don't have a chance to capitalize on these ideas, on these ventures, on these things that are showing up. You see them, but for some reason they're out of your reach and you can't really touch them. Perhaps in your career, you've turned down an opportunity for something. Maybe they wanted you to relocate and it just wasn't an option for you. And you're now kind of feeling that, hey, you missed that because it was a good thing, but moving was not an option, or some of the other things that were there at the table were not an option for you at the time. So there is a level of frustration when it comes to career and work and jobs and partnerships and anything that is around that arena of employment. So how does that play out with this other one? Another upside down card. So again, it's just reflecting the same thing. It said a seal, but because the seal like that is broken. So if there was a deal with a business partnership or your career, that's broken. So business contract is not, presenting itself. It's not sealed. It says here documents, gift of money, writing, clerical paperwork, and staying put. So because it did show upside down, so we're seeing some issues with the career. This just, verifies that there is an issue, with the career, with paperwork, with opportunity. It's just not, the deal is not sealed. How about, let's put it that way. The deal is not sealed. Let's look at love and relationship. My goodness, what the heck is happening, Scorpio? Now we have the 9 of Wands. Let's go ahead and look at it straight up, where you see this person here looks like he's been battling and, kind of still has one more last fight in him, and all these are behind him, kind of looking out like, being on guard. But as it is upside down, it's the opposite sense. Maybe you giving up the fight. Maybe you feel that, you've put in so much into this relationship. You've put in so much that it's not worth fighting for anymore. You keep looking at everything and it just seems that there's so many disagreements. There's so much against you at this moment. And it's feeling like you've done enough, and it takes 2 people to work things out. But if the other person is not willing to pick up their part and their slack, what is there left then? Should this partnership continue? So both partners must be willing to compromise to make things work. You've got to find that middle ground for this partnership to work, whether this is a relationship from work or a personal relationship. Comes a moment that things just have to kind of, be resolved. So here, definitely, as I mentioned, now it looks like he's there and he's ready to drop that, drop the fight, or she. And one of the things that we look at is how long can you keep going? How long can you keep investing in this relationship? And it just seems like all this fighting is just draining and exhausting you. And yes, disagreements are natural, between 2 people. But the thing is, are you doing all the work trying to sustain this relationship? In the end, what happens if that part wasn't there? What happens if you'd step out? The battle stops. So that's the question. It seems that you are no longer willing to fight. You're so tired of looking over your shoulders, and as it's upside down, you're just ready to lay down the sword and just stop. So let's see how this is corroborated, Scorpio, with this message here. We have this beautiful angel here, beautiful heart. There's a lot of pink. So how does that go? Okay. Acceptance is the key to inner peace. At times, we must accept things as they are. There's no point to trying to change that which is beyond our control. So this just seems to confirm the situation. So it's interesting what's being revealed here And then we see this in the relationship house. It looks like for some of you, a good majority of you, there's going to be some issues in the relationship. There's going to be things are going to be brought out to be discussed, regardless of what, the ultimate outcome is. This is a reminder that acceptance is the key to inner peace. At times, we must accept things that are as they are. There's no point trying to change that which is beyond your control. If you fought to work this relationship and you've done your part and you're the only one trying, it's time now to reconsider your options. Okay, let's find out here what you need to work on about your personal growth. Okay, so personal growth, I love it, but it is upside down. In this case, my experience is that the Three of Cups is usually the same meaning with itself, right side up or upside down, just a little bit more positive and rejoiceful when it is in the right position. So it's interesting because there's a couple messages here. Definitely your personal growth. When we see this and we see the cups and it's in emotions in Scorpio, this has to do with your happiness. This has to do with the personal things that drive you. And it's kind of really trying to find what is it that gives you meaning? What keeps you excited? When we look at the Three of Cups, it's like, yeah, but there are certain things that just give you short-lived happiness, It's not like, there's anything right now that's pulling you into some super excitement and kind of, thinking about what is it in your life that brings you happiness. And in that growth, it really is about finding it, and moving towards that goal. Because where you feel the most discomfort, that's the place that you need to push through. The comfort zone that you have, that. And it's so comfortable. But life lived at the edge teaches you so much more. So it's interesting because in the Mudras is the number 38 and talks about 11. 11 is a number of transformation. It's one of the master numbers. So it's probably about focusing what you want to do next and focus on the it factor of your life. And this is the mudra, the Panchamukha mudra. And I'm going to just turn it so we could see what it has on the back. Self-healing, balance, and focus. So when you practice this mudra, it is about self-healing. So there's probably so much stuff that you've got to let go of. This is a very tumultuous, chaotic month. And it's just blowing my mind away. All right, Scorpio, what is it that you need to work on? And that personal growth, and it is about focus. When we look at this number, the 3 and the 8, it gives us 11. 11 is a master number about intuition. And this is really important as we've seen this theme show up here. Remember here, following your intuition. Over here again, because it's upside down. So it's like you need to find ways to, follow your intuition, to create more concentration for yourself, more focus. Because if not, look at this. I know that looks like you're going to want to look for, do it your own way, as it was revealed here with the King of Swords upside down. So you're looking for, ways to do things that, benefit you. But at the end of the day, can you sleep with those ideas? At the end of the day, what's going to go on. And you really need to start thinking for yourself as well, like for you, what's going to bring you happiness, but at the cost of what? Will others, have to pay, a price for your happiness? So it's like, it's a really fine line, it's look like this temperance was showing. It's really, working with things through in a way that you don't overdo things like the excesses, and find that happy, what do they call that? Work-life balance. So this is the mudra. Here's the picture of it. So how you bring your fingers together to work on this mudra. And so I just wanted to do that. Okay, so the Panchuka mudra assists with self-healing, balance, and focus. So bring more of that. Do whatever you can during this season, your season, this period of the Scorpio with the season of the sun transit through Scorpio is going to be chaotic. It is going to ask for focus. It is going to ask us to, set a tone here for ourselves as we're moving with this magnified energy of the sun through it. And here's the affirmation: I align with nature and receive balanced focus on all levels. I'll put this here for a minute here. Sorry about the lighting. So you can put your foot on pause and continue to read, how to join your fingers together, okay? So what you need to do is work on staying focused on accomplishing certain things. Because one of the things as the Scorpios, they are a fixed element. And what is it that they love? Well, they love being organized. They love the routines. But sometimes we've got to finish things. We've got to move on. And that's where you're going to find, that new thing, that you're going to find that path. This is, moving towards it. It's out of this here area and moving towards something better. And at the same time, question is, are you going to be breaking old patterns to achieve these things? And can you live with that? It's very interesting. So here is our last card here, the lesson. What is the lesson? Okay, a positive card. The one card in this whole deck that was right side up. It was this, the Hermit, and our final, the Page of Wands. When you can come through with this, you will not be at the level of the King here. You will now be in a new plateau. It's like you will have achieved, but you start a new journey. So this is wonderful, but it's going to be a lot of work in so many areas, from work, from personal, from relationships. Something is going to be so intense. Something in the cosmos is going to affect us all because of that Scorpio energy. But you Scorpions are going to go through so much growth. So much is going to happen that's going to activate a personal growth to start a new journey, a new promise, a new hope. And that's what it's going to be. But you're going to have to go through the Scorpio. You're going to have to go through, what do they call it? The dark night, to come through and see the light. So definitely a month for Scorpios. I don't envy you. Let us see what our angel message is as we close out this session for our Scorpios. What is the angel message for our Scorpios? Retreat. So much is falling on you for meditation. We had the angel of we had the angel show up here about moderation, but intuition allows us, that retreat is inside our mind, intuition, that retreat, going into this also sacred place is about intuition. So it is about this retreat. And when you can pull in and find that truth for yourself, and a truth that you can live with, because it is about, can you live with your decisions? You can't blame others, you can't manipulate things. But when you can come through this valley of darkness and stay with the highest version of yourself, with what aligns with truth, integrity, and allows you to stand tall, you will come through. And yes, there may be some issues, some intense issues, whether it could be legal matters, or whether it could be things at work, contracts that fall apart, or, the jobs that you want aren't there, or missed opportunities, and the relationships are not really, but it is a cleansing. There is some serious cleansing happening, and this may require you to retreat, asking you to retreat within yourself, and know that as you do that for you and stay focused on your path, you'll come out just fine, Scorpio. You'll come out just fine. All right, my dear one, there you have it. Happy birthday, Scorpio. All right, my dear ones. Hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and hit the bell. That way you will be notified when I upload my next video. Be blessed.